everybody. Welcome to the 2021 SNAG exhibition in motion. I'm Laura Wood. I'm joined today by Megan Patrice Riley, and we are going to be your host today to show you some really excellent work by SNAG members. A little background on this event today. Each year, as a part of an annual conference, the Society of North American Goldsmiths hosts a fashion show fundraiser called Exhibition in Motion. This juried event is of SNAG members who are invited to participate in this show annually. And I'm going to let Megan take it from here.
Well, thank you, Laura, and it's such a pleasure to be here. I am NPR Megan Patrice Riley, and I get to share this co-host spotlight with Laura Wood. Woo! In 2020, the work of 27 artists was accepted into the annual Exhibition in Motion. However, due to COVID-19, the annual conference had to be canceled. To ensure the amazing creations of these artists could be shared with all, the chosen artists were each invited to document their completed artworks with photos and videos. Those have all been gathered into the first ever virtual Exhibition in Motion. From all the artists who have made work and those who have worked to share it with you, we truly hope that you enjoy this show.
We want to thank the artists who chose to share their passion, imagination, and talents with us for their amazing hard work. We would also like to thank this year's SNAG sponsors and you, the amazing members that make up this organization of makers. We have a full range and a full show of some really talented makers. And so without further ado, here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Our first up is SUE-YEE.
And these pieces are 3D printed, blended with hand fabrication. So a really great use of materials, really great use of thinking about the theme of the Exhibition in Motion.
I also like that it's hinged, so I understand how I actually put it on my body. That's really helpful.
Totally.
I need to be able to visualize that.
Mm-hmm. Great piece. Next up, we have RAIVEL The Max.
Immediately love the colors and the graphic aspect of this.
Yes, I really loved seeing this piece on and being worn.
The funnel neck piece, I'm like fascinated with it because it's replicated in large, smaller forms down the back. So you have the golden color in the front. I'm interested, there is hidden color in the back, so you can see it in the 3D panels, which is great.
Mm-hmm. And the inspiration for this piece was inspired by the 1969 Max Cohen Mr. Dino pantsuit. I thought it was a great launching point for this piece. Love the color, the shape, all of it made for a great final piece. It's got great movement. This in the back, I love that little detail.
Yeah, I think she did a cute job also with the styling of a simple black outfit. We're our jewelers, we love that. With the little short little boots, a little 60s nod as well, and the shorter hemline to match. From Breastplate PARLATO, in honor of her honor, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, lace collar warrior breastplate.
Incredible piece. So much detail.
I needed to keep looking at this and understand it, and I had learned more and more each time I looked at it. Took on more depth. Each piece, each bead is a work of art.
Mm-hmm. 1,000 beads to make this piece in total.
Handcrafted from the Descent papers from RBG. So there's a lot, it's like meaning upon meaning in this, and visually just feel very ceremonial.
I bet that piece feels really nice, the weight of it.
Does not feel come across like paper. No, it really doesn't. It comes across like another medium.
Yeah, very much so. The text in there, you know, contributing to the overall style and color and patterning of the piece, really remarkable.
It does have a graphic quality, almost like a pattern, a nice pattern, an abstracted pattern because of the words. Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the little fringe too at the end. A lot of open work to that negative space created as you see the clothing coming through.
Very strong. Next up, we have SARA WESTERMARK, Armor of Inclusivity. Incredible piece.
This is an incredible amount of work.
This piece is made from 400 individually enameled copper scales, and it weighs just over 10 pounds. The weight of it, the sound of it, when they move, it's incredible.
The construction of it is like scales too. It waves beautifully along the body. You can see they're moving. It's really changing.
Mm-hmm.
The epaulette part is exceptional too. It's just such a great statement. It's a fashion statement.
I want to wear it. And given the context of this piece being a love letter to their non-binary and bisexual child who's just gone off to college, made a note in the statement about it taking space and that sound being so much a part of this piece. And I would agree. I think it's really incredible to think about that paired with the inspiration for this piece. Really, really well-rounded in thought and execution.
Next up, HARRIETE Estelle BERMAN Black Plastic Gyre Necklace.
HARRIETE does it again with her signature style, but in all of these recycled materials. So cool. You would never know from the picture.
Too, from many disparate materials, it's very cohesive. It looks like, I feel feather boa, I have to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got that flavor. Yeah, it's totally got the flavor of some of her bangles that she's done in the past, all made from deli containers, nail polish caps, yogurt lids, anything from black plastic. So cool. Our next artist is Dong-Yi Wu, Access to Unknown Worlds 7. This piece is inspired by having an imagination and kind of accessing that beyond just your childlike, you know, mind when you're younger and growing into being able to keep that sense of wonder and imagination. I think this piece captures that really, really well.
I like that there's this little hidden spirit animals in there, kind of like little childhood treats. This
the size. Totally we need that, because if I didn't know, I would have thought it was smaller, but love seeing it on the body.
And elegant on the white. So elegant. Our next up is ZULA Neon Heart.
Love this
piece.
I mean, the styling, it is drama. I love it. All that, neon, so great.
Yes, I love that there's been the accoutrement of the earrings. There's been some styling thought about with the outfit too.
Yeah, and I mean, this piece, talk about a piece that exudes what it's about, you know, about exuding compassion and love for one another, and that being sort of the center anchor part of this piece. I hear it loud and clear with the way this
the color choice is very joyful and vibrant and childhood, like, again, it recalls that, and it has a party feel to it. It does feel like a little rave
yeah, for sure. But I also like the addition of the earrings and the little double finger ring happening. All the boxes, very nice.
A little fishnet action on the sleeve.
Yes. Next up is Emily Gomez, Spiraling Out of Control. This is a full body piece, really large in scale, but an incredible illustration of her subject, which is mental illness. And I think if you're talking about that, and she talks about the overwhelming emotional and physical turmoil mental illness often brings. And I think many people can relate to maybe feeling a certain way on the inside and not being able to illustrate that externally. And I think this is a really great way to talk about that.
I see exactly the externalization of the internal in this completely. The color, the way it's done also, it's coils upon coils upon coils. I do also like the construction of it starting from the top, where it's like a necklace. It's actually almost just a necklace, but it has all these braids coming down, so it's a very smart way to keep a large body piece. So that is cool. These stills are awesome too, because I love seeing it in motion. You can see that it totally moves with you, it moves around a lot. We're gonna hear next from Salem Turchin, Queer Core Art Objects. And when this piece comes out, I immediately think punk culture, but I notice also the choice of color being so strong as a clear signifier of LGBTQIA culture, as well as the styling. There's also beautiful brooches on there, the panels. Yeah, those panels, those brooches being such a clear celebration of the LGBTQIA community, and putting those symbols out for the larger community to see and, you know, start to understand as a fully integrated part of, you know, who makes up our communities. It's really, really great. And this piece feels like a time capsule. This is like a vintage piece. This is a piece of culture. It's like an archaeological piece. Next in Exhibition in Motion, we have Megan Diamond, Security Blanket. I want one. I feel like it's a Snuggie that I need. Totally. It's amazing. The clasp even, I mean, not even just the fact that she's like Snow White brought all the dwarves with her, and she's wearing them. Look at that! I just love it. Yes. I want all of it, and you can just sling it on the bed when you're not wearing it. You can like use it as a throw of some kind. It just sort of represents all those things that we kept around at a certain, you know, even now people have. Well, it's like wrapped in childhood. It's very quilted as well, and I think quilting in general, like the use of that harkens back to like memories and like taking things and like having those little memories with you. And this definitely translates for me as a child when I'm taking that with me. And I have to say, you know, I feel like a lot of people could probably try to make something like this, but if you look at the detail where this person is cutting to make those different components meet together to make the full coat, that's clever. That's craftsmanship. Our next up is Katya Toporski, Future Roses. Yes, another piece that's blending 3D printing technology with the handmade precious materials with these newer materials in a way that really blends the two. Yes, and
statement.
There's so much layers, there's so many patterns happening here. With clear, I wouldn't think it would see so many different things, but you really can.
Yeah, I feel like Katya is kind of a master at that with this material. So it's really nice to see a big statement piece like this with so many intricate, detailed components. She too got inspiration from a piece, a historical garment that she found at the Maryland Historical Society in Baltimore.
I like that there's you can see the metalwork that's incorporated as part of the piece. We have a lot of cuffs and ruffs and collars.
Cuffs and ruffs. I love it.
We're all a little tribute to RBG in this one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Barbara Bauer and Shaylee Badiadla, Women Making Waves, is the next piece in our exhibition today. More of an interactive piece, right? You're not necessarily wearing this work, but it's definitely ornament, right?
Such a great reflection of what's happening in society with women becoming more powerful in political places. They become kind of breaking the glass ceiling in a lot of ways. And yes. I think that's what they're alluding to with the title here, but the scale of this is like, we're not gonna forget this happened. This is noticeable.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that on topics like this about, you know, climate change and this nod to women who are working in this field to bring more awareness to either these issues that we really need to be giving time and space to. Something like this large that takes up this much space, a flag, there's so much in here that really gives strength to the overall context of this piece, for sure.
And the construction of it too, that it's using recycled plastic, a lot of upcycling from materials.
And you'd have to know, I mean, look, it's taking so much physical exertion to show this piece off. So, I mean, again, that's part of it, you know, putting in that work, the physical commitment to these things that this artist is speaking about. It is so much.
A little sophisticated, like a little bit pushing the boulder up the hill. Yes.
I do love seeing this piece in these environments.
I would have fun though. I would also be very scarf dancing.
Yeah.
The colors too. I like seeing a little touch of color there as well. There's a graphic detail pattern. Our next up is GALEN BOONE for the New Kings of the End Times. I think the eye shield in particular is, I keep staring at it. There's a lot going on for me with the eyes, especially.
Yeah. I mean, it is, you know, you can see it is sort of a theme today with artists who are thinking about the future and living through the past year, 2020, 2021, and being at an age where you are trying to figure out what your next 40 years are going to look like. It can make you feel somewhat bleak. And so I understand where this artist is coming from with this piece.
I see also reincarnation and rebirth though as well. Like this idea of coming out the other side and coming out perhaps a new you. So there's a rebirth. It's not an ending, it's a new beginning.
I think that's a good way to put it. Our next artist is ARIELLE BRACKETT, Untitled. Untitled, but so much here in this piece. Again, coming back to using recycled materials. And we have another breastplate, which is always fun to see, I think, people's interpretation. Yeah.
The movement on this too is great. This is wonderful. Having the videos is so wonderfully helpful to see the scale and just how it fits on the body.
I think they chose a very nice backdrop environment to show this piece. I personally enjoy seeing this piece in that natural environment. It kind of makes me feel what this person is feeling when they're making it, because, you know, likely finding these pieces in the environment, you know, lots of plastic, you know, detritus.
That's a little paramecium kind of feeling too, like very natural as well. Like some of the graphic elements that they're achieving within the piece in the metalwork is light and firm-like, and then the pieces themselves have that kind of amoeba original cell feeling, which is a nice setting amongst the natural background.
Yeah, another artist here who has completely transformed the start material, that being plastic and waste, you know, in a way that when I see this, I am not thinking about that, but then knowing that it does really expand on that conversation that we need to be paying more attention to. Again, taking that on, really powerful.
It's interesting to see so many different interpretations of, but there has been more fringe than I expected.
It's true. It's true. Fringe and lace and like
the lace
Victorian era.
The ruff. I really like the cup, the little cup. Next up, Victoria Lynn Hutchinson, Overgrowth. Like many, many little brooches.
Many pieces, components, excuse me, that make up this look.
I love the little details. I love seeing things up close to see all the little work of the rivet work.
Could also change this piece. Like maybe this piece isn't exactly how it's shown in this photograph. Maybe you could also kind of scatter them differently, and it could sort of change over time.
Or it's modular and very much like the virus, where each person takes a little part of it.
Right.
And live in many people's wardrobes.
Yeah.
As well. Yes. Like modular and iterative.
Yeah, I think thinking of it as a modular piece is kind of cool. Next, we have Lisa LEMAIR, Exogenous.
And more armor, but also just externally spiky.
Yes, like another one of those pieces that is exuding a little bit of a protective barrier, but also very vulnerable at the same time. I see so much of how the creative process is sort of boiling within this person, and I think that's a really cool thing to see at this stage, to make work when you're feeling that. It can come out in such a unique, authentic way.
Yes, it really does. And those arm bands, that immediately captured me, because I thought that there's a full thought about it. It wasn't just what didn't straight to the front, there's a whole back happening. With this piece, I like that as well. As it's also longer in the back than in the front, which is different from, that's not really a jeweler thing.
Going kind of in a garment full textile direction, which is refreshing. I like that.
Next up is Laurel Gobmer. Although the weight pulled at her, she breathed again. Beautiful.
Amazing. In keeping with this last year, but also this piece made, she's Californian. We know that the fires that are happening there, smoke, air quality. I mean, this might actually be something that you might need to have on your person every day if you're living in these places at a certain point, if we're not, you know, vigilant.
Them being from California and speaking to this as a climate change issue as well, it looks good too. It looks functional.
I think, yeah, it does.
Design-wise, yeah.
The design really has to work if it's going to work. So there's a lot of engineering happening in this piece.
It looks like two lungs almost on the side as well. Like there's this open work, this beautiful filigree open work, pierced work. But then you look at it a little bit closer, you start looking at the patterns, like, is that two lungs or is that body parts? There is kind of a anthropomorphized or body relation there as well, the exo coming out. How cool is it to see people wearing pieces too? I think it really takes on a new life. I love that it's way more than a flat lay to see people wearing.
Absolutely. You really need to see someone in this piece to get the gravity of the whole inspiration, for sure. Next up, we have ALYSSA SWANSON and Jennifer MARCSON EIM piece. This piece is great. It's an optimistic look at, you know, where we're headed, the future. The voices of women, non-binary, and traditionally other people will be heard more equally in society. And I think this person kind of talks about how you can wear this piece, you know, you can feel proud about who you are. It's an empowered object. Really dramatic. Love it.
It's super dramatic. I'm so intrigued by the little fingers.
Totally.
I also like that it feels like a commentary on having shoulder pads, or like almost like a football player, those that kind of protection.
Totally, like reimagining these gendered garments that we've come to know and sort of changing that and turning it on its head. Not too unlike an artist we saw a few slides back, Turchin. That same thinking about garments and taking these things that have been gendered in one category and sort of blending these things to create this something that can be for anybody, everybody.
Yeah. Yes, I could not stop staring at the fingers.
I like the finger. I like that disembodied finger decorative element.
Next up, Erin Austin, pause, take a deep breath.
Really detailed piece.
Love the video already too. The video itself feels like Anton Corbijn music video.
Yes, and that wave in the background as she kind of catches up to it. Really nice. More of another wearable apparatus, nod to our future and things we might want to keep on hand, like fresh scents. I mean, it's also heavy, but you know, somehow these artists are finding a way to put their own spin on it in a way that you can maybe digest some of this, you know. Big topic to take on, for sure.
Great. I like seeing this in action.
Yeah.
Really helps. There's a story within this story and it brings that piece to life very effectively. The little rose encapsulated in the mason jar. I mean, we are at the sign of the time right now.
You know how scent is so closely linked to nostalgia and feeling and a certain time and place. So I see this piece kind of going in a lot of different directions there.
And saying quite a bit too, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Nice job. Erica Husick is next up with The Caretaker. Another fully immersive piece. You know, the body is fully integrated into the whole of this piece. So many pieces and parts.
This is so cool to see it in video too. Also, background choice, thought out.
Very nice.
Definitely makes me understand the piece more. It's cool to see it because the video has the quality of also feeling like that, the way they filmed it has that kind of modern or like that 60s vibe.
It does have that.
That was cool to see Bills to show us a little bit more detail.
Yeah, and a little commentary on our relationship to plants and our environment, whether or not we give thought to it or not, and what that relationship could be if you're not quite so tuned in. Even I think using materials that have a relationship to plant life.
Yes, how we take gardening, using the gardening hose so effectively, like creating this whole like wedding train or like a bustle in the back.
Yeah, really
like
intricate.
Here, kind of.
The headpiece too. I mean, the headpiece would have been enough probably, but they went all the way head to toe. Very, very cool.
Oh yes, it comes with separates, so you don't have to wear both.
Love. Look at that bottom. Look at the bottom there. Yes. Very nice.
Next up, Jennifer Ramirez and Rachel Suzanne Smith pollinate. Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Also, Bjork, the swan outfit.
I thought the same thing. I thought about this and something else coming up later, but yes, the Bjork needs to know about this because I feel like totally fit. Yeah, the ribbon flower bud represents the possibility of new growth, and the size and placement of the petals represent growth on a vine. I like that. It's really nice.
Oh, I love seeing the up close. Just the details of all of the flowers. I like the monochromatic white.
Yeah, powder coated aluminum base with laser cut pieces on top. And I believe there is some recycled material in here as well.
Base also is like the powder cut or the laser cut pieces. So there's like a structure there mixed with
absolutely. I love the mask they chose for this model too. I think that's nice. Attention to detail.
Yes, good touch.
Yeah, so this is all about planting native pollinators, and this needs to be a priority over green mowed lawns, which I agree. I absolutely agree with this. And I would much rather have a slope of pollinator plants than grass that, you have to cut all the time.
Oh, this seems like you could wear it too. I could also envision this actually being them having the powder coated structure and then envisioning actual living plants potentially.
Oh, being a part of this place, as
a living element.
Great model too. I have to say, model choice, excellent.
Yeah,
working it. Again, I also like the environment. I like seeing these pieces in natural spaces. The juxtaposition of that really kicks it up a notch for me. Last but not least, we have SUE-YEE LYNN and Ian Henderson, Spirit of Water. See, this is a piece I was thinking about too that would be excellent for the stage or performance. It is so graphic and striking. I can't take my eyes off of it.
I also think the choice of the outfit underneath is a beautiful styling choice and wonderfully
look at that.
Message. Yeah. Everything they're going for about showing like the movement of water or things having this kind of tidal wave effect, the outfit replicates those themes really nicely.
And what you're not seeing on the surface here is that it's a forged aluminum armature that these patterns of soft synthetic rubber are wrapped around to create this sort of exoskeleton wearable structure. It's just incredible. The headpiece is remarkable.
Oh yeah, very much mythical aspects as well. Oh, the art again, great armbands.
I really am enjoying like how that is following the form of the body but protruding out, like enhancing the silhouette. Excellent all around.
The white showed up nicely. And on the blue is a great color choice. The pattern of the scales, kind of mermaidy a little bit.
Fantastic. I think all of these artists did such a great job riffing on the theme of future, and both in how we're thinking about what we need to do in the present to, you know, secure that we have a healthy, sustainable future. Also changes that are happening culturally that have been necessary from the get, that artists can do in the way that they do it in creating pieces that create that commentary for us. And also all of these pieces that have touched on our environmental concerns, and of course navigating this pandemic, you know, really great pieces that touch on all of those things.
Navigating this pandemic, yes. We've seen a lot of people thinking about protection, armature, having their personal strength, their inner strength being externalized and shown visually potential to everybody. I think is wonderful. And
so personal. Yeah, lots of personal, very vulnerable pieces that took a lot of vulnerability to make, I'm sure, just in the idea of it, and then to just follow that through into a physical form and then put it in this platform in this way is really terrific to see. And there's some really great makers out there.
Yeah, and the variety, I think, as like metalsmith, a variety of materials used as well has been cool to see. Like there was a lot of upcycled and recycled materials, but then there's a lot of metal still flowing in there. Mixed in, we're seeing it was a nice mix. We saw a good range.
Really excellent range, and I love where we started off with these 3D printed material blended with hand fabrication, you know, talking about current, you know, kind of referencing current events in a way, all the way through to the present. We've seen some, you know, the optimistic view. We've also seen the other viewpoint of, you know, just being really realistic about how people feel at present in the year that we just had. So I just, bravo to everybody. That was so much fun. Yeah.
Agree. A round of applause. Yeah, you gotta do it. Full vaudeville cheese right here.
Yes. Thank you everybody for joining us and following along for the 2021 SNAG virtual exhibition in motion. And we hope that if you didn't get in this year, we're sure there will be one in the future that you can get in on, and you can start getting those ideas on paper now. So thank you everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you. Woo.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, cut that, what I just said out, but.
No guarantees, no guarantees.
all I do